So I'm going to tell you a story about something that happened to me when I was little. I was a kid. I can't remember how old I was. I think I was about 10 or 11. Maybe I was 12. I used to live over in West Salem, uh, and I used to during the summer I used to go to the park by myself. I rode my bike out there and just kind of play on the playground. There were usually no other kids there. I just played by myself, me, my imagination, whatever else. I'd pretend I was in some kind of Sonic the Hedgehog game, or I was in just some game. I'd just make stuff up, and I'd go there almost every day, and I and I think every day, or maybe every other day, I would see this white van would drive up. And I know this sounds like an introduction to something bad. It wasn't really that bad, but I was thinking back on it now. I swear there was just something weird about it. There always was. Anyway, this white van would show up, right, at the playground, at the park, and they would park near the playground, and this group of guys would get out, and they looked like they're sightseeing or something. I don't know what they were doing. I don't know where they came from or why they were there, right? I only remember two of them out of the whole group. No, maybe three out of the whole group that they just stuck out to me, right? I'm just this kid. I'm playing alone on the playground, on the big toy, whatever, and these guys would just start walking around. One of them would hobble off down the walkway and just take a loop around the soccer field or whatever. And there's one guy who would sit on the bench, and he would just sit there, right? And he would look at me like, I would ride my bike. I'd get on my bike and just start riding around because I already feel uneasy about these guys being there. And and uh and when when I rode by him, he just gives me this look, like this hungry look, like this, or something like that. I don't really remember, but he gave me this weird look, and he'd say, "How you doing?" And he would grin at me like this. And I wasn't really afraid back then because I didn't really know much. But thinking back on it now, I think I should have been more afraid. But that was just one guy. The one I remember most, it just gets me every time. There was this old guy who rode with him. He would always walk over because there was a creek, or this bank between the playground and the forest, right? Or what the trails where people would ride their bikes or walk or whatever. There was this old guy who would go over to the bank, and he would stand there, right? And he would have his back toward the playground, and he would just start making these nature calls, or I don't know what they were, but he would stand there and he would be like, "Whoa, arr, ah, whoa," and he just do that, and he did it every fucking day. And I could not keep a straight face. I could not keep a straight face. I'm like, holy shit, what the hell's wrong with this guy? and and they just showed up like every day, every other day, until one day they just stopped showing up. They just stopped showing up, and I'm pretty sure I stopped showing up there too. Um, there came a point I moved away. I never told my parents about it. I didn't tell anyone. Well, maybe I should have. I don't know. I don't know where they were from. I don't know if they were just a bunch of perverts, or if they were just a bunch of this. Maybe they were rehab patients, or not rehab patients, but rehab people. I don't know. I'll never know. It just that older guy though. He was scary. He was And even at one point, even he went onto the. He just went and sat on the bench. He was just, and I rode my bike by him, and I think I got a good look at his teeth. He had silver teeth in his mouth, and he kind of grinned at me like this, like, I don't know. I mean, it's such a weird story. It was so weird. And it's something I'll never forget.